enough boxes. To be honest, we need Rasmus to stay. We needed competition for strikers to play. We had 4 strikers in 99 and 7 in 2008. I've seen this a lot about people not wanting Rasmus to leave. Shout out Ibrahim. He's like the president of the Sierra Leone Supporters Club. He came on the channel the other day.
I saw that.
I've seen a lot of people online sort of saying, nah, we need to be careful with this, like pushing Rasmus out the door. Yes, he hasn't been good, but we've signed the main guy now. This is what Rasmus needed. Time out, time to learn of somebody, even though, Sesko's learned himself, he's young, but just another person there. And he needs to stay. And I can see why, like, some people might think that. But at the same time, I think he's had a couple of years under difficult circumstances. I don't believe he's as rubbish as last year. I do agree with that. But we got Xerxes and we got Sesko and we got 1 game a week. When's he going to play? I know Xerxes is currently injured at the minute, but when he gets back fit, we got about 100 10s at the moment. Let's be honest. We got enough of those. And up front, you'll have Sesko and Xerxes. Like, for 1 game a week and a couple of cup games, that's all you need. Rasmus ain't going to play.
I think this is when it goes back to my favorite phrase, which is talking out of both sides of our mouth. And I think it's one of those ones where when Omar Barada said previously that players would only have 2 seasons, they go 2 seasons at Manchester United. And if they were good enough, they would stay. If they weren't good enough, they would leave. We applauded that and we praised Omar Barada for saying that. We went full Dwayne The Rock Johnson settings. We went, finally, we're being ruthless. Finally, we're doing what we should be doing. And now, after a player's been here for a few years, and like you said, maybe he's not as bad as he was last season, but he's not up to the level that we're going to need. Now, suddenly, that's being mean, or we're forcing him out, and that's disrespectful. We
are forcing him out.
Exactly. Yeah, but my point is with that is we're suggesting that it's not how to operate. Why are we operating like this? But we asked. This is what we asked for. Either you like it or you don't. We can go back to it, but like we were before, and he could stay out remainder of his contract and then keep slagging him off every week and go, no, he's not good enough. Why am I just going, because shirt selling's always popular in the fan base, or is this, that? And if we can keep doing that, but we'll have the same outcome and results that we've had, which is inconsistency and what have you, or we can make a determination, we can make a judgment call, and we can be ruthless. The manager clearly doesn't rate him. We played in a preseason friendly, the final preseason friendly at the weekend, without a striker. The game was crying out for a focal point. That's what I was saying. That actually,
he even said it after the game.
One of the negatives I thought was actually a positive, that you went, God, this game's crying out for a focal point. Lucky we just
signed. At least we got one.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But with this Hojlund thing, get rid of Rashford, get rid of Garnacho, get rid of these players. They're not good enough. Sling them out. They can train by themselves. They start doing it. Let's not be mean. We can't be mean to some of these players. No, and look, Rasmus is a fan. Rasmus isn't in the exact same category of Rashford or Garnacho or Sancho, where you question how much he cares about the show. Of course he does. Of course he's a Man United fan. He interacts with Man United fans on social media and this, that, and the other, of course. But there's no room for sentiment. If the bar of becoming a Manchester United player was, do you love the club? Then Flex, me and you would be playing up front and in goal. But guess what? We're not good enough. Rasmus is better than us, much better. But being a fan isn't a prerequisite. Being good enough is a prerequisite. And unfortunately for Rasmus, that isn't the case. Now, when it comes to, what's going to happen next, there have been developments on it, like you said. Simon Jones said yesterday that AC Milan have proposed a season-long loan worth £4 million as a loan fee. United are prepared to sell Hojlund for as little as £30 million, but Milan are looking for a season-long loan. It could end up being close to a £40 million valuation total, because it could be a £4 million loan fee, the potential for a £39 million option to buy if Hojlund impresses back in Italy, of course, where United signed him from. Samuel Lutkos then reported this morning, saying that Hojlund is actually open to joining AC Milan. United are confident a deal can be struck with the Italian club. They're rebuilding following the return of Max Allegri as their head coach. And last week, sources close to Hojlund felt he would have to leave if Šeško came in. Hojlund is unhappy at United seemingly forcing him out, and stressed only 12 days ago he wanted to remain at the club. So it does feel like there has been a shift over maybe the last few days with the whole Hojlund situation. Previously, like you said, he came out and really just went to the journalist and made sure he got his message out that he wanted to stay. But Man United's put their Hojlund in the same way that Hojlund can get his message, in the same way that Hojlund can get his message out, so can the club. The club made their message very clear when they left him on the bench when the game was calling out for a strike.
Yeah, and that was definitely. It's not just that wasn't just a. I just don't rate you, so I'd rather play without you. That's one bit, obviously, but the other bit is like, right, we're back here in England now. There's a few weeks left of the window. Don't risk him. He's so important to shift. Like we have to get his wages off with the books. We have to get a loan with an option so we can, account for that and then get other targets in. So don't mess it up by bringing him on for 20 minutes in the second half and he does his hamstring. And I'm not going to lie, bro. I saw Rasmus doing the warm-up of all warm-ups. You wouldn't have seen it because he was watching
you said, he was doing Pilates.
Bro, he was fucking doing Pilates. He was doing a warm-up where I thought, bloody hell, that's like the warm-up you would do like either at Pilates or like proper squad warm-up. Like he's lying down, one arm out that way, one leg out that way, up like that. You know that one where you do that, like you're planking. And I was like, fucking hell. He's definitely coming on, and he warmed up with the batch that came on, and then he just didn't, and I went, well, that's that then.
And also as well, Flex is this is the other thing. The chat mentioned it earlier, but what about injuries? We've got a smaller squad this season too because we're not playing in as many competitions. Theoretically, Manchester United shouldn't have to be rotating, or Ruben shouldn't have to be rotating as much as he was when he came in. But Ruben was rotating 4 or 5 changes per game last season because we were playing every 3 days. We're playing once a week now. And people can point out and say, well, in 99, we needed 4 strikers. We played 2 strikers up front. We played a 4-4-2. We play with one striker now, and we're playing once a week. Not like in 99 where we won the treble because we were in every competition and we played with 2 strikers. The context is totally different. So, yeah, at the moment, Joshua Zirkzee injured, but we're playing once a week. We now have Šeško, Zirkzee, Chido, and Bumo, Cunha can play up front if needed. And you would hope not. So you've got more than enough, you would think. And if moving on Hojlund, in addition to Garnacho, and Sancho means you can get a Carlos Baleba and a goalkeeper, then we should do it. We shouldn't be, again, worrying about, looking back and going, he's been treated badly or he's had a rough go of it. Yes, he has. But also we have to look forward. Like Luke Shaw said it in his interview, draw a line under the sand, 2 years, go, it's not worked out. It's not totally on you, mate. It's not a total reflection on you. We've effed up. You've effed up. The whole club's been effed up. But sometimes that's life. These things don't work out, and we got to move on because we need to go get other players. That's it. That's it.
It's club over everything. It's club over anything. It's the understanding that if players like that who have achieved everything at our club can leave, we really shouldn't be wedded to players who are leaving in our worst moment who haven't achieved anything at the club. Yeah. Let's be honest. In the grand scheme of things, yes, he came off the bench, in that FA Cup final and made sure he saw it out and stuff. I'm not knocking that, but we can't be doing too much for players that, are simply not good enough. That's it. That's it. What are we doing here? He's not good enough. If you want to cry about it just because you like Rasmus, then you're just in the wrong space, I suppose. It's just silly at this point. You can't want, like you say, Ineos to just shape up or shape out, get a hold of this squad and get rid of the players who aren't quite good enough. Not be horrible to them,
except if they're your favourites.
Except if you just like them, it doesn't make any sense. And like you say, I wouldn't. I'm not wedded to any player as long as it makes sense. Like if we were selling Lenny Yoro this summer, to just for some reason, I'll be like, well, that's silly. He's good. He's just come here. He's actually really good. Yeah. He's proving that he's good. If we were trying to sell Ahmad, I'd be like, mate, he's only just getting his feet under the table as like a first team regular. Like. He's good. He could be part of the future of this club. Even Bruno. Even when it got to Bruno and it was 100 million Saudi, what were our conversations? It was, I tell you, that's a lot of money. I don't think... We said in that, I don't think we can afford to turn that down with the situation. Obviously, this was at the time we were being pled poverty and we don't have anything. Not only did we keep Bruno and spend loads of money, but it's worked out that way. But at that time, I was like, well, we have to rebuild the squad. I love Bruno, but we're never going to get a chance to get this money again for him. I'm all right. Like if he stays, I'm happy because I think he's our best player and I want him to stay here. But if we sell him for 100 million, I can't have any complaints at that. Who are we going to get 100 million for in this squad? So we're not wedded to. That's right up to Bruno and right down to someone who doesn't play. So what we
finished 15th. Yeah. Everyone can go. And Diego, one of our members, says there, it's not favourite, it's the way we treat people. Unfortunately, that's the breaks in football. Nice guys in football will finish last. We've seen it. Do you think?
But how are we treating them bad? How are we treating them bad?
But this is the other thing. Again, it's the life of football. It's the life of a football player.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
if you want to be a footballer, this is what can happen.
This is the rules you sign up to. It's not a nice. Yeah. It's not nice. This is coming from someone's experience of like being in a youth academy or whatever. Your goal, your dreams to become a footballer, and then sometimes you turn 16 or you're even younger. Sometimes your parents drive you all around the country. You're told one day, you're not good enough. See you later. You're gone. That's it. It's shit. Sometimes it can be shit, but it's ruthless. Football's a ruthless sport. Yes, how you win. Elite level sport is ruthless. There is no room for sentiment. And again, we can't pick and choose when or who we're going to be ruthless with. I'll tell you what, we won't be ruthless with you because you're a fan.
It goes back the other way as well.
It doesn't work like that.
Sometimes players, the other way around, look like they're really happy and they've got everything and they want to piss off. Look at Alexander Isak. He's just won the first trophy in 50 years. Everything's great. He's scoring goals. The fans love him. He ain't played a game since pre-season. He wants to go. He wants to leave. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
It's football. I've got a chance to do something else that I think is better. I've got a chance for my career to do something else. Clubs, and this is why I'd say I don't ever really blame players sometimes
for not having that
when
loyalty.
They act a certain way for not having that loyalty, because clubs, if you're injured or they don't fancy you or the manager changes, they just throw you out, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's on merit, if it's meritocratic, in terms of you haven't performed well enough and they want to get rid of you, fine. You ain't done your job and you're on the big wages. That's fine. But other times you could be doing all right. A new manager goes, I'm going to speak to hierarchy, not feeling him. Let's get him out, get someone else in. That's just what happens.